Hey, this is Shannon Price, the Mind Mechanic, helping you navigate your life. Welcome and thanks for tuning into today's podcast. My goal in life is to change the way people see and treat themselves, to educate, empower, and evolve. I've dedicated a huge portion of my life to help each person become the best version of who they are, one step at a time, and teach them how to continue to do this for life. You and I have one thing in common. We want to constantly improve our lives and be the best version of ourselves. But many people have lived their lives pretty much the same way for a very long time, stuck. You are capable of making the biggest transformation of your life. You are capable of becoming unstuck. If you consider all those ways we have made ourselves feel stuck, becoming unstuck is just a change in perspective, a change of mindset and behavior. So how would it feel if you couldn't find that feeling of anxiety? If you couldn't find that feeling of fear any longer? Because you know how to control it and you know how to take charge. What is that struggle? What do you struggle with internally that causes external anxiety and emotion or actions that you just wish would stop? I know how to help you. I know how to help you help yourself and make it stop once and for all. What if you could spend just a little time with me to learn how to do that for the rest of your life? Today's podcast is titled, In a World Where You Can Be Anything, Be Kind. People who have greater levels of self-compassion tend to be more motivated, less lazy, and more successful over time. But just as important and more important, they like themselves, even when they fall short. They recognize where they may have gone wrong, but rather than getting caught up in that self-blame and judgment, they learn from the experience and adapt. They change their course for the next time. We understand kindness from the perspective of how we treat our family and friends. So what if we take that same approach to how we treat ourselves? How would our health improve if we listened to our body's signals and the noise from our mind and responded with care and compassion? We hear a lot in the media today about the importance of being kind to each other. And this message is especially relevant in all these strange times over the last year or so. It's all too easy to become impatient and frustrated by the actions of others as we go about our daily business of dealing with this crazy period of challenge and uncertainty. You know, we're probably all guilty of wasting our own emotional energy on anger or anxiety. We see people sharing opinions that contradict our own or behaving in ways that we just can't relate to. So it's very easy to just get upset. But in these times when we've seen so much unpredicted change, we're perhaps not entirely unfamiliar with the concept of kindness. And maybe when we calm ourselves down and take just a moment to stop, think, and breathe, we can all recognize how we are in this together. And we're just all doing our best. We're doing the best we can. On a good day, we can see the value in just letting potential agreements pass without having to react negatively. After all, most of us can just accept that reacting badly doesn't really achieve anything or do us any good. You know, what about the anger or disappointment we regularly direct towards ourselves? Extending ourselves the same kindness and understanding that we might show to others is kind of an alien concept as we push ourselves to do better and we chastise ourselves for any maybe perceived failings. Why do we find it easier to accept someone else's limitations than our own? Well, the fact is, I've seen people, my clients, turn their emotional well-being and mental health around purely by deciding to stop beating themselves up. You can get to the other side of anxiety issues by choosing to always be kind to yourself, no matter what challenges life throws or how you respond to them. So think about this. In what ways do you beat yourself up? In what way or ways will you change that? Like I said, in a world where you can be anything, we really need more kindness in the world. Many are struggling to fight their way through. But all too often we put our focus on displaying kindness to others and completely forget to extend ourselves that same courtesy. Negative comments and an unkind attitude towards us can do a huge amount of damage to our self-esteem. And for all those people who have criticized you, me, everybody in the past, the one person who has treated you the worst is most likely you. Because nobody talks to you the way that you talk to yourself. So, negative self-image may have started with the way you were treated by others, but then it was you that took that opinion as being true and began to repeat it to yourself over and over. So whether you realize it or not, your own subconscious heard it every single time. Do yourself a favor today. Decide to only speak to yourself with positive words of encouragement and love. It's not that hard. Decide to focus your attention on all those simple things that you do right every single day. And there's a lot of them. You know, the stuff that you may have been taking for granted, and maybe you actually stopped even noticing. And when you do something wrong, because every day we all do at some point, make a conscious decision to skip the part where you beat yourself up and go straight to the part where you learn something, move forward, and give yourself a hug because now you're more knowledgeable and resourceful. This small upgrade in your thinking, applied consistently and repeatedly, might make a bigger change in the way you feel than you could even expect. You only have one mind for the rest of your life. One mind for the rest of your life. Treat it with kindness, first and foremost. You yourself, as much as anybody in this entire universe, deserve your kindness and affection. And I'm going to leave you with this one word, this one phrase. Kindness is badass. Be a badass today. Be kind to yourself. Thanks for listening, and I want to give you my contact details because I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at controlfitness, it's CONTROLFITNESS at AOL.com. You can also find me at my website, www.sp, my initials, themindmechanic.com. So that's SP, themindmechanic.com. You can find me all over Facebook. You can find me on Instagram as Shannon's Ageless Fitness. So I am on other social media. You just have to look for me, and I'll talk to you very soon. Please let me hear from you and let me know something kind that you did for yourself today. Thanks, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.